Milky Way Chapter 1. The Girl Who Feared the Ground. I first met her the day a meteorite storm tore the sky open. The colony world of Arinder 5 was a quiet place most years. Fields of violet grass, forests glowing with bioluminescent spores, and animals that moved at the speed of wind. A perfect place for a frontier life if the storms didn't try to kill us every few months. I was fixing an old atmospheric monitor when I heard the alarms. A shower of molten rock streaked across the horizon, smashing into the western plains and sending shockwaves through the settlement. Minutes later, a rescue alert pinged across the colony channel. Unknown pod detected. Possible crash survivor. Location: Valeth Plains. I loaded my supplies into my hover saddle, strapped it to my horse, a real one, not a machine, and rode toward the crash site. We still used horses on Arinder 5. Engines jammed too easily from the spores. Machines failed, but horses adapted. My horse, Skyrun, was the fastest of them all, with a silver mane that shimmered like plasma. I arrived at the crash crater and saw it, a small obsidian escape pod, shaped like an almond, half buried in scorched grass. Steam hissed from every seam. Then the hatch opened, and she stepped out. A girl, hardly 20. Her eyes glowed faintly, a shimmering emerald, and her gown was torn as if she had run through fire. Her hair drifted weightlessly, as if gravity didn't fully accept her presence. She looked at the ground like it was an unfamiliar enemy. Her voice trembled. Where is the stabilizer field? Why does everything feel so heavy? When she lifted her foot, it shook. Her knees buckled. She fell, but not to the ground. A burst of light caught her, almost like a personal gravity buffer trying to re-engage. She stared at me as if I were the first real thing she'd ever seen. Please, I can't touch the ground. I wasn't made for it. That was how I met Lyra, a girl from a place where no one walked. Ring Planet Chapter 2. The Princess of Virella. Back at the outpost, she explained between breaths. She came from Virella, a floating city world orbiting far above a gas giant. A civilization built entirely on graph fields, where citizens lived in perpetual weightlessness. No ground. Ever. Walking was unnecessary. Balance was controlled by implants. Entire generations never touched soil in their lives. A species of floaters. But Lyra was not just anyone. She was royalty. The Virellan regent's daughter, sent on a diplomatic flight. But something happened, an explosion, a betrayal, a jolt of sabotage, and she was thrown across space in a defective escape pod. I wasn't supposed to land. I wasn't supposed to feel weight. Her voice cracked, each breath shaky as she pressed her palms into the soft grass, her fingers trembling violently. My body doesn't know how to hold itself up. Her legs shook even when she stood with my support. The idea of walking terrified her. She looked outside at the fields, where Skyrun grazed calmly. Her eyes widened. What is that creature? A horse, I said. One of the oldest companions humans ever had. I've never seen anything stand so confidently on the ground. I didn't correct her. To her, the ground was danger itself. Horse Chapter 3. The Fear of Falling. The next morning, Lyra tried walking again. 2 steps, then she crumpled. The weight of gravity was too much. Her muscles were too weak. Her balance implants flickered uselessly. I'm sinking. She was terrified of the planet itself. So I did something unusual. I brought Skyrun to her. Maybe you don't need to walk yet, I said. Maybe you just need to feel supported. The horse lowered his head, sniffing her curiously. Lyra stared, breathless, frozen between awe and fear. It's huge. He won't hurt you. She reached out. Her hand hovered inches from Skyrun's neck. She swallowed hard. He's warm. Her fingers brushed his mane, and Skyrun gently nudged her shoulder. She gasped but didn't flinch. He trusts me? Seems like it. She looked at him, then at me. Can I ride him? The question stunned me. She couldn't walk without falling, and she wanted to mount a horse, but something in her eyes told me why. A horse didn't require her feet. A horse supported you. A horse carried you. Maybe, for someone who had lived her whole life floating, this felt safer. All right, I said, but slowly. Shooting Star Chapter 4, she mounted the horse for the first time. The moment Lyra put her foot in the stirrup, her entire body trembled uncontrollably. Not from fear, but from the weight of the world pulling her down. Her arms shook as she gripped the saddle. Her breath hitched with panic. It feels like the planet is trying to swallow me. It's okay, I whispered. Lean on me. Let Skyrun hold you. We moved step by slow step. Her foot slipped. She gasped. I caught her, but she didn't back away. Finally, she swung her leg over, awkwardly, clumsily, trembling the whole time. She sat in the saddle, and something transformed in her. Her breath steadied. Her spine straightened. Her muscles relaxed. She wasn't fighting gravity anymore. I'm not falling. No. He's got you. She placed both hands on the saddle horn, her eyes shimmering. This feels like flying. That was the moment she changed forever. Her hands tightened gently around Skyrun's neck, and she whispered, I never want to get off. High Voltage Chapter 5, A New Bond. We rode slowly at first. Every movement felt new to her. Every shift of the horse's muscles startled her, then fascinated her. But within minutes, she began to enjoy it. The world is so big from up here. She actually giggled, when the horse trotted. Skyrun is strong. He isn't afraid of the ground at all. He's faced worse than gravity, I said with a smile. She leaned forward, hugging him lightly. He saved me. You both did. It wasn't long before she could ride without gripping the saddle in fear. Her posture improved. Her breathing calmed. Her movements synced with Skyrun's. And for the first time since crashing on Arinder 5, Lyra wasn't afraid. She was alive. Police Garlight Chapter 6. They came for her. 3 days later, the sky ripped open again. But this time, it wasn't meteors. It was ships. Sleek, black, silent. The Varellan crest glowed on their hulls. Lyra stepped outside, her face pale. Those aren't my people. Who are they? She swallowed. The Ascendancy. A faction that tried to overthrow my father. They sabotaged my vessel. The ships began landing on the plains. If they capture me, they'll use me to claim the throne. Then we need to run. She nodded, but her legs buckled. She couldn't move fast enough. I grabbed her hand. Get on, Skyrun. She didn't hesitate. For the first time, she mounted him alone. And when Skyrun bolted across the plains, Lyra held on tightly, not with fear, but with determination. Behind us, the invaders gave chase on hovering grav bikes. The sky filled with streaks of ion fire. Skyrun galloped faster. Lyra leaned into him, eyes fierce. Go, Skyrun. Don't let them take me. And he didn't. Fire Chapter 7. The Power Within. We reached the cliffs overlooking the Seraph Dunes. Cornered, the Ascendancy ships descended, forming a half-circle around us. Lyra's hands trembled on the reins. One of the soldiers raised a weapon. Princess Lyra, you belong to us now. She whispered, I won't be controlled again. And then, her eyes lit up. Emerald light exploded from her palms, forming a crystalline wave of gravity-shifting energy. The attackers were thrown off their feet, weapons tumbling through the air. The cliff beneath us shook, but somehow, Skyrun stayed steady. I stared at her, stunned. Lyra, what is that? She breathed heavily. A gift my mother gave me. I wasn't supposed to use it unless my life depended on it. It depends on it now. She nodded. Then stay close to me. Crossed Swords Chapter 8. The final stand at Seraph Dunes. The soldiers regrouped. Lyra dismounted, her legs shaking violently. But she stood. For the first time since arriving on our world, she stood on her own. And she faced them. The wind whipped her hair. Her feet pressed into the sand. Her eyes burned brighter and brighter. This planet showed me courage. This human taught me strength. This horse taught me how to stand. The ground vibrated. She raised her hands and unleashed a storm of gravitational force unlike anything I'd ever seen. The dunes rose like waves, swallowing the soldiers and their ships. Metal warped. Engines collapsed under crushing pressure. It lasted seconds. Then silence. Lyra fell to her knees, shaking. I ran to her. Lyra, are you? She pressed a hand on my chest, smiling weakly. You grounded me, literally. She laughed softly, exhausted. I finally learned to stand. And then she collapsed into my arms. Sunrise Over Mountains Chapter 9. The Ending. Never let go. Lyra recovered over the next days. Her balance improved. Her walking stabilized. And she rode Skyrun every morning. She said it made her feel alive. Strong. Real. One evening, as the twin moons rose, she approached me slowly, still a bit wobbly, but determined. I'll have to return home soon. My chest tightened. But you're safe here. I am, but my people need me. She looked up at the stars. I know fear now. I know pain. I know weight. And because of that, I can be a better ruler. Then she placed her hand on Skyrun's neck. I want to take him with me. I laughed softly. He's not exactly a spaceship creature. She stepped closer, her voice gentle. Then you come with me. I froze. She reached out, taking my hand. Her grip was steady, strong. You believed in me before I believed in myself. The wind rustled her hair. You were the first thing I held on to in this new world. And then she said the words that changed everything. And I never let go. Skyrun snorted softly, nudging us together. Lyra smiled. Come with me. Not as a subject. Not as a bodyguard. She took a breath. But as the one who taught me how to stand on my own legs and how to ride toward my own destiny. I squeezed her hand. And you'll never have to face gravity alone again. She laughed and pulled me into an embrace. Above us, her rescue ship descended. A new life awaited her. A new world awaited me. And as we boarded together, Lyra whispered, no matter where I go, I'll always hold on. And she did. She never let go.